All right, welcome to the live stream. All right, I'm gonna be answering some real world questions that every man needs to understand how it works. So the first question I'm gonna answer, I'm gonna read it here, and we all gonna understand how we're gonna deal with this. So the first question is, what are the effective ways we can deal with stress? There are a lot of ways we can deal with stress. So now, let me say this. Now, this is a problem. Trust me, believe me on this. What is stress? Sometimes we don't want to stress, but believe me, if we do the things that needs to be done, we'll be stressed. The things I don't want to accept is getting tired, because the end point for every tired man is a grave. If you're tired, the best thing to do is to rest in peace. That's the best thing a tired man can do. Most of the time I avoid saying I'm tired because I don't want to rest in peace. The day I'm going to say I'm tired is the day I've prepared that I'm going to rest in peace. Yeah. So if any man does the things that needs to be done, they will be stressed out. Now, how do you deal with stress? The first way to deal with stress is by understanding that it's part of the process. Understand it's part of the process. The moment you start fighting with stress, that is the problem. Don't fight with it. It's part of the process. It's part of the life you live. And I used to think this many years ago, and it still works. Trust me. Why do we worry on the things we cannot control? There's some stress that is derived, or they are derived from us getting work done, and some stress that are derived from us worrying about things we cannot control. Those type of stress that worry about the things we cannot control are dangerous. If we focus on the positive aspects of our lives, negativity will be there. Then now we need to focus on the positive aspects of our life. The things you cannot control, forget about them. I think that's a good philosophy to live with. It's a good philosophy to live with. The Bible says we guide our heart. Out of it are the issues of life. And the best way to guide our heart is to avoid, not focus on the things you can control. Anything that's not part of your environment, forget about them. Sometimes we used to think that whenever someone's laughing, we feel like laughing at us. Now ask yourself, what if they're not laughing at you? What if they are just making some laughing at something else and you think they're laughing about you? I want you to understand this. It's not always about you. The problem comes when we always feel like it's always about us. When we feel like we are the problem. The people around us, they're the problem. What if you are the problem? Yeah. Take a deep thought on this. Share the live, share the live. I'm going to the next question soon. Share the live. Share the live. Share the live. Alright, I tweeted this a few hours ago, and this is very true. The umbrella becomes a burden after the rainfall, and so as so as so are some relationships. Some relationship becomes a burden in the process. When the rain falls, or after the umbrella becomes a burden, so are some relationships. Now it's very important we understand this. There are some relationships that need to end for better things to come. The problem we have is that a lot of people are scared to lose certain relationships. See, if you're in a relationship and this relationship is non-mutual, if it's parasitic, leave. Now this is my ideology, this is my belief systems, and I want this to go down to my descendants. Whenever I meet someone new, I focus on what I can do for them, not what they can do for me. If I meet you, we're creating a friendship, we're creating a relationship. Relationships become more stronger like muscles. The more you work your muscles, the stronger they become. So as relationships. If I meet you as a person, I will focus on what I can do for you positively rather than what you can do for me. What if all of us think the same way? There will be a balance, there will be mutuality, and Newton's law of motion will apply. So every reaction is an opposite but equal force, and there is equilibrium. The problem is a lot of us get into relationship and focus on what they can do for us rather than what we can do for them. It becomes parasitic. You don't care about what you can do for the person. All you focus on what the person can do for you. That is parasitic relationship. And to an extent that cannot work. Welcome to the live stream. It's just a mentality that we all can adopt. We can get this mentality and make the society a better place. A lot of people want to get to people that they could, or the people could help them. What if you start getting close to people because you can help them, not because they can help you? And if everybody thinks this way, there will be a balance. The problem here is a lot of people want to be parasitic. See, givers don't have limits. So as takers, if you are a giver, trust me, to an extent you may not have limits. Also, takers don't have limits. And I want this to be very clear. Trust me, believe me in this. Believe me on this. I've been around a lot of people, and a lot of people tell me this. So I don't give because I don't have. That is very understandable. That's very clear and compromisable. We can compromise with that. A lot of people say they don't give because they don't have. Trust me, if you don't give when you don't have, the chances of you not giving when you have is more. Maybe even 90%. If a man can give in little, when you have, you're gonna give more. When you have money, it amplifies who you are. It don't change you. Money don't change men. It amplifies who they truly are. So if you're a stingy person and if you get money, you're going to be more stingy. If you're a giver, when you have money, you become much better, a much better giver. It's a balance. Welcome back, welcome back. Had a clash. Welcome back. Hey, Welcome back to this live stream. Welcome back. Alright, one more question and we end for today. So I'm gonna read the question and we see how to answer the question. That's gonna be very I'm going to be very straight to the point. Now somebody sent me this question on one of the social media platforms. I think I got a DM from Facebook. Alright, the person said, "Hello sir, I've helped a lot of people in my life, and every time this help tend to be a negative to have a negative impact in my life. What do you suggest?" Alright, so this person said he has helped a lot of people, and most of the time they help them to have a negative impact in his life. And trust me, I understand what it means. When you help people and if this help is an investment, trust me, you will lose. When you help people, it should be help, not an investment. Who told you that if you invest in me, you're going to reap from me? Who told you that? The problem we have is you invest in somebody and you expect to reap from that particular person. That is the problem. Human beings are very dangerous, they are very unpredictable. So if you invest in a human in your best interest, expect to reap, but not from the person you invested in. Heartbreaks, disappointment will come when you start expecting reaping from the person you invested in. Normally, the system is very sure on this. If you invest somewhere, you should reap from that place. But in human being, if you invest in a human, trust me, expect reaping, but not from that person. Though the person can be involved in the process, you can reap from the person, but don't expect reaping from that person. To save your heart, to protect your heart. The heart of man is desperately wicked, very wicked. So that's the sub. That's it. I'm gonna have more of these sessions, maybe once a week, twice a week. See how God will lead us. Yeah. For now, bye and stay blessed.